This is Harry Judd for Boxing Social in association with Betfred and with the one and only Harlem Eubank. How are we, sir?
How you doing, mate? I'm very well. Very well.
I would like to mention, obviously, I saw on Instagram as your late cousin Sebastian's birthday recently. So thoughts obviously go out with you and your family at this tough time, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it.
You're out in Newcastle next week. How much looking forward to it?
I'm excited. Excited that this is the kind of activity I need. And you know, I've been in the gym working since the Monday after my last one, so I'm ready to continue the momentum and put in a performance.
Obviously, Chris got a good reception out there. Are you packing a microwave to get anything signed?
I was thinking about this a few days ago. I need to think of what appliance to bring out, but no, I think I'll leave that to Chris. And yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the Newcastle reception and to, like I said, to put in a performance in front of Newcastle fans will be great. You know, they're great boxing fans, so I'm sure it's going to be a really good atmosphere in there.
You stopped the last three of your fights. Can we expect the same from the weekend?
Potentially. I don't go into the fights looking for the stoppage. I just wait for the opportunity to present, and I'm ready to go the full 10 rounds. That's what I've prepared for. So it's, let's see what happens come fight night.
You're obviously hoping for a British title fight. Would this bring you any closer to that, do you reckon?
I think so. But again, I think I've already put myself in position. The fights I've had, the opposition I've overcome, I think I should be already in pole position for that. So the rankings and stuff like that, it's out of my hands. So I've just got to keep focus on putting on performances against whoever's in front of me and let the people that do the rankings and do the rest. But I'm just focused on dealing with what's in front of me.
You're out in Marbella. You've just come back. How was it training out there?
It was nice. It was hot. Some very tough sessions. Some tough runs in a very, very hot gym. Great facilities out there. Yeah, it was a hard graft week of training. So it's been good, and now I'm finishing off the last little bits for Newcastle next week. So yeah, camp's gone really well.
There's a big team that went out with you. Obviously, one of those that went out was Michael Conlon, who's returning to the ring on August 6th. How is camp out there? Is it a good morale, and how's Conlon doing?
Very good mix. He's one of the guys that pushes the pace. Anything you're doing, so he's leading the pack, and we're trying to keep up with him. So, yeah, he's raring and ready to go for August 6th, his return in Belfast, and yeah, he's going to put on a display against Mariaga, who's he's no mug, he's tough competition. So Mick wanted to get right back in the mix, and he's working as hard as ever. So yeah, constant progression. Yeah, we all gel together well out there and put in the necessary work.
What can we expect from you in this performance?
I think I want to continue to put on a display and continue to impress, continue to be myself and show what I've been working on, and that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I wanna look better. I want to be better every single time. I'm never satisfied, and I'm my own biggest critic. So I'm trying to do bigger and better every time. So that's what you can expect.
Obviously, there's rumours circulating. I was going to have you here without mentioning it, but your cousin Chris, reportedly, it's not been announced yet. I'm not asking you to announce anything that's obviously not out there yet, but reports are going around that Chris will be fighting Conor. What was your immediate reaction to that being announced as a possibility for Chris?
I think it makes sense in terms of the event. It's a big event. Both big names. You got the attachment to the fight with Senior and Ben, and it's it's gonna be theatre. It's gonna be a storyline for the public that they want to see. They want to see play out. How did the Suns get on against each other? So I think it makes sense, money wise and event wise and pay per view wise. But yeah, Chris is a completely different ball game to anyone he's been in there with. So I think, yeah, I think it suits Chris very nicely.
Apparently, the catch weight is 156. It's a big shout for Chris to go down. You'd assume out of the two of you, it would have been you probably more ideal to be fighting Conor.
Yeah, I guess I've still got some building to do to put my name up there in the pay-per-view mix. But yeah, reality wise, I think that's the case. But yeah, regarding Chris's weight, he doesn't actually water cut, so he's I think he can actually make that pretty easily. Considering the standard thing to do in boxing is you do a little water cut close to the fight, and I've never seen Chris do that. So yeah, I think it will suit him well.
What's your opinion on Conor? I know you've had some sort of back and forth in the past. What's your opinion on him as a fighter?
I think he's doing well. He's improving. I think he's focused. He stays in the gym. I think he's dedicated to the sport, and I think that's why he's improving like he is. And I think he's had to do that. He came through some adversity in the early part of his career, and he's pushed on and committed himself to the game. So you can only respect that. And yeah, like I say, he's improving constantly. So respect to him.
Like you said, the names obviously come from the two fathers. Do you reckon the animosity's been passed down?
No, I don't. Just because it's not like they're the same weight. It's not like they've, had any real. I don't think there's that real streak in them where where it's like they're the same weight. They're the two biggest guys at that weight. I think it's a case where it just makes sense event wise, and I think they both know that. I don't think there's the same rivalry that started with Chris and Ben, but I think it will be a great event in the same breath, to relive the Eubank Ben, Eubank Ben fight night rivalry, hype, energy, like to relive that as a fan is something that sounds very appealing.
One of the main things that's been reported is that both seniors will be at the press conference. How interesting is that, do you think?
I think it's necessary. If you're gonna have this event, that's what it's about, isn't it? That's you got to have the original storyline, behind it, and ultimately they laid the foundations for both Conor Ben and Junior. So I think it's only right, and I think it's necessary to promote the fight as well. Being that it's two different weight classes, I think you need the dads there to promote it.
How was it in the booth camp when Williams was being trained by Adam in preparation for the Chris fight? How was that?
Yeah, very awkward. Obviously, when you got someone in the gym, and you usually build that camaraderie, but I just had to keep my distance, and obviously, I wanted Chris to do the business, and he did. So I think it was awkward then, but I think now, it's the dust has settled, so it's easier now. But yeah, at the time, very, very awkward.
Your Chris did mention stuff about the relationship between him and his father on the Diary of the CEO podcast. What did you listen to it? And if so, what did you think of that podcast?
Yeah, I listened to it. I thought it was good. Um, I think it was a good insight into his experience, his kind of feelings from early in his career and until now. And yeah, like it was just an insight. I think he's constantly kind of learning and evolving. And it was just an insight into that. It's not, I don't really have much of an opinion on, everything he was saying either way, but it's just interesting to hear his insight into how he experienced boxing, and because everyone has a different experience, and it was interesting to hear his on a personal level, because he doesn't usually talk in that capacity. He's usually more stone cold, and so yeah, it was nice to see.
Did you sympathize with some of it? Because obviously you have the name as well. You must go through, especially in your early career, you must have had similar problems.
Um, I don't know if it's a problem, but it's just that, yeah, I had similar experience.
Yeah.
Um, except I didn't necessarily have I had different opportunities as well, so I had to forge my own path. So it was a very different experience, but definitely shared some components of what Chris did, but carrying the name and going into a sport where um, there's already so much attached to that name and so much success, and it's difficult to try and take on the burden to replicate that. But all you can do is try your best to make an impact in the sport, and that's what it's about.
If I had to push you then for a prediction, an outcome of this fight, what would you say?
Of which fight?
Connor and Chris.
I think Chris is too big, too aggressive, too tenacious. So I can see Connor having some success early, but once Chris gets the gears going, he's going to be too much, and I think it would end in a stoppage.
Well, thanks for chatting to us, Harlem, and we'll catch up in Newcastle very soon.